a lot of new immigrants come to Canada and they experience a lot of culture shock. And then what ends up happening is, for example, if you have an African family coming to Canada and the father is 50 plus years old, doesn't speak English, and the mother is 40 plus years old, doesn't speak English, and they're here for a better opportunity, better resource, and a better life in Canada, both parents end up working 2 jobs, middle-class jobs, but then they have their kids. You know, they have 3 of their kids, 4 of their kids. Who's taking care of them? If there's not a strong, solid foundation of parenting, those kids are lost. Those kids end up dropping out of high school due to language barriers, or they get caught up with the wrong crowd, where, you know, they get caught up in doing drugs or violence, and the family becomes the victim.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Flourish podcast. I am so excited to have another amazing guest here. We're so grateful for the presence here today of Musab Adel, but he is known by everybody and professionally as Moose. And so welcome, Moose.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. It's great to have you here today.
Yeah, it's a great honor.
Yeah, it's a great honor for us to have you. Thanks for coming down to our studio here today to have a conversation. And you know, I met Moose just to give you a bit of the backstory, and then you're going to hear lots from him. So we met actually at our Real Men's Breakfast. So we have a men's breakfast that we run every couple of months here. It's in Calgary. There's an online version. Sometimes we get a couple of folks who join us online to see the broadcast, but Moose actually had attended. And as soon as I got to know him a bit, we set up a breakfast meeting. And in that breakfast meeting, heard your whole story, or at least a good chunk of it. And I thought, man, this is somebody that we need to kind of put on the podcast and get to know more. So, hey, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah.
At the breakfast meeting, it was very enlightening.
Yes.
Our conversation was very enlightening.
Yeah.
And at the men's breakfast, there was a lot of great people. So
yeah,
thanks for giving me an opportunity to be here today.
Hey, thank you. And so I'd love to have you tell us just your story. And it's always like a pretty big open-ended question. So love to let the audience get to know a little bit about you and your journey.
Yeah, I think my story starts by understanding who I am, where I come from. So I'm from Sudan with deep roots to Egypt. Both of my parents are from Sudan. But my mother has deep roots to Egypt. And I come from, intergenerational trauma for decades, and come from divorced parents, struggled in life at my early days as a youth. I was a youth at risk at the time and didn't know who I was, running away from abuse, running away from physical abuse to mental abuse to verbal abuse to so many things in so many different ways. It was really, really hard for me until I decided to run away. That abuse was coming from my parents, my father, but I love him to death. We're in a good relationship right now. But I was just running away. I wanted to be independent. I didn't want no one to control me. I just wanted peace and freedom.
Yeah.
And my early days, I got caught up in the music industry and as a promoter, and from there I got caught up with the wrong crowd and wrong time, wrong place, and then witnessed the shooting, got beaten up really bad due to violence, and here I am 15 years later. So
yeah. And you're still dealing with some of the after effects of all of that, eh?
Yeah. It's still in my mind. I still remember, but if those events did not happen, I wouldn't be the man that I am today.
Right on.
So yeah.
And the man that you are today, like honestly, when I was listening to your story, I saw how out of all of those things, you've taken that journey and now you've launched a nonprofit,
Right.
which is reaching youth. And so tell us about that.
Yeah, so I serve as the president and CEO of an organization, grassroots organization called Struggle is Your Success.
Yeah.
Youth entrepreneurship for BIPOC youth who are struggling or incarcerated in the justice system.
Yeah.
Give them a sense of belonging and a sense of hope outside of traditional employment and traditional schooling. The reason why I started this not-for-profit was because of two things. I looked at myself, I was like, how many youth are struggling like me? How many youth have issues with their fathers? How many youth have issues with their mothers? How many youth who don't want to pursue post-secondary? How many youth who don't want to pursue high school? So how can we foster innovation? How can we foster creativity and give those youth a second alternative and a second hope? Mm-hmm. So it starts by struggle. I think we are living in this life of perfection, and we're wearing a mask, and we don't uncover the true reality of who we are.
Yeah.
And this is what the not-for-profit does.
Love it.
It tells you, how to tackle struggle, how to increase your confidence, how to, have a sense of hope, sense of belonging, connect with people, and understand your values and be more effective in who you are.
Okay. So for people who might be watching, they don't maybe really understand like this term BIPOC and some of the challenges that may, include. Maybe tell us about that.
Yes. So the BIPOC terminology is Black, Indigenous Peoples of Color. Okay. That term comes from a racialized, marginalized community that doesn't have a sense of hope and lack of resources. There's a lot of lack of resources in our city, in our country, and there is not enough, especially with the rise of new immigrants coming to Canada, especially the ones who are coming from third world countries. That's the term of BIPOC and how we can serve that underrepresented community.
Yeah. And that's a different experience to somebody who may be raised here, right? Or somebody who doesn't have that. Like you said, it can be a lack of resources.
Right.
You can come from extreme poverty. You can come from war.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is just, and then you land in a new country and you're trying to figure out, how do I eat? How do I survive?
Right.
But also, how do I thrive, right?
How do you thrive and how do you accept?
How do you accept?
I think we're missing on how to accept ourselves.
Okay.
A lot of new immigrants come to Canada and they experience a lot of culture shock.
Right.
Right? They don't understand the North American culture. They don't understand how to adapt. There's a lack of barriers. There's a lack of, literal reviews within their language.
Sure. In their language, absolutely.
Or within their language. So they always have to go back and study English as a second language. These are very high issues that we're facing. And then what ends up happening is when you have, for example, an African family came from Sudan, for example. Sudan is going through a war right now. It's a torn country. Over 30 million people have been displaced. So if you have an African family coming to Canada, and the father is 50 plus years old, doesn't speak English, and the mother is 40 plus years old, doesn't speak English, and they're here for a better opportunity, better resource, and a better life in Canada, they end up working, both parents end up working 2 jobs,
Yeah.
right? Middle-class jobs, but then they have their kids. You know, they have 3 of their kids, 4 of their kids. Who's taking care of them? And then if there's not a strong, solid foundation of parenting, those kids are lost. Those kids end up dropping out of high school due to language barriers,
Issues and
or they get caught up with the wrong crowd, where, you know, they get caught up in doing drugs or violence, and the family becomes the victim. So what Struggle is Your Success is, it's an early intervention opportunity where youth entrepreneurship is a gateway for success. So we, for new immigrants or struggling youth, like, if you don't go to school, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, 50 years ago, maybe it was, right? But
50 years ago,
today,
yeah. So
Yeah.
if you didn't have the opportunity to make money, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
You know, youth entrepreneurship is an opportunity for them to believe in themselves and change their mindset. Entrepreneurship is not about starting a business; it's about changing your mindset.
Right on.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love the name. Struggle is Your Success.
Yeah.
Your website, it's SIYS.ca.
Yeah.
But I just, tell us about the name, because I think that, the name matters, doesn't it? And there's something inspirational about that name.
Yeah. So I was struggling as a youth at risk, and I shot a 3-pointer, and I made that 3-pointer shot. And I said, struggle is my success.
Right on.
Not your success, my success.
Right.
And I had an argument with my father, and I decided to step out of the house and live my life. And I went through a lot of trauma, suicidal thoughts, all that stuff. And then a friend of mine told me, change the mind to your.
Yeah.
Change the mind to your. And I was like, change the mind to your.
Right.
So it went from struggle is my success to struggle is your success.
Right on.
And then I left the country. I went back home, and I had the opportunity to travel multiple cities, multiple countries: Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, South Sudan, Egypt, where I have mentored over 1,000 youth.
Wow.
Back home.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
and then I decided to bring the idea back to Canada, to my homeland. And I looked at myself and I was like, I am a privileged Canadian. I am a privileged Canadian. There's people who are starving from water, lack of food, lack of belonging. And I looked at myself, I was like, how can I create impact?
right on.
And if I focus on impact will create an opportunity for me to thrive.
Right on.
Rather than focusing on the money. And yeah.
So that's so awesome. And so people who want to check you out at SIYS.ca, Struggle is Your Success. But so tell us about the work you guys are doing. I love how you are focused on youth entrepreneurship.
Right.
That's so important because, it's like you said, that mindset shift allows you then to see possibilities.
Right.
So tell us about that and the kind of work you do with that.
Yeah, so Struggle is Your Success, Youth Entrepreneurship, we have a very innovative program.
Okay.
Our program is a very innovative program called Dream It, Plan It, Build It.
Dream it, plan it, build it.
Dream It, Plan It, Build It.
Yeah.
It's a 5-week program, once a week, an hour and a half. We take these youth into a journey where they uncover who they are.
Okay.
uncover an opportunity where they have the ability to dream
Nice.
and take those dreams and turn them into realities, and take those realities where they have the ability to plan
Yep.
and build.
Awesome.
So
I want a dream.
yeah, so we have impacted about 200 kids, 250 kids.
Wow. That's awesome.
Within our city.
Yeah.
Some of those kids are about 35 kids who are incarcerated in the justice system,
Okay.
who are in jail, but they are pursuing the entrepreneurship journey.
Yeah.
We are the first organization to introduce youth entrepreneurship to the justice system.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, just give them a sense of hope
Yeah.
and a sense of changing their mindset.
Yeah.
Not just that, out of those youth, we have about 10 to 15% where these youth have the ability to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. You know, it's funny because I love that mindset. I always think to myself, like I grew up with some abuse and trauma, and by the time I was in my early teens, had gotten into some crime and some drug dealing. And, it's funny because even at that time, it took a set of innovation and entrepreneurial skills to
grow.
Right. And I was using them in the wrong way. But I actually think, our psychologist, Dr. Wayne, business partner of mine, he always says, if somebody can, be out there and, stealing cars and reselling them, then imagine if we could just get them turned on to entrepreneurship.
Right.
Right. So the idea that these kids are maybe exposed to crime, but you're taking them and saying, hey, here's another way.
Here's another way.
Here's another way, right? You don't have to go down that path that will hurt you and your family. You can actually do something different. But then also here's the tools that you need, eh?
Yeah.
That must be awesome. That fulfilling work for you?
Absolutely, 100%. It's not just fulfilling. It's a passion of mine.
Yeah.
I come from the tech background.
Yeah.
I worked in the tech industry for almost a decade as well, before I was a youth at risk.
Yeah.
But I was like working at 9 to 5, and in the tech industry, I'm not fulfilling my dream, and my dream is to impact.
Nice.
I think this organization has given me the ability to impact.
Absolutely.
And now we're on our road to scale.
Nice.
Of course. And yeah, like there's so many stories that I can tell you of these youth. Actually, we had a youth who was struggling.
Yeah.
And came through the entrepreneurship program, graduated, made about $600 in revenue.
Nice.
Through his company.
Nice.
It's a cleaning service.
Yeah.
We also had another youth who started a business called Rise from the Ashes.
Nice.
It's Rise from the Ashes. It's almost like Struggle is Your Success.
Yeah.
It's a t-shirt company, and he's selling his t-shirt at Mount Royal University.
Nice.
We also have another youth who started a waste management company.
Nice.
The craziest ideas, Abe, are the ones who just believe in themselves with the craziest names. Who thought that Amazon is an online e-commerce business? Amazon. What does that mean?
Right.
So I have a youth within our program. She started a waste management company called Harmony Babes.
Okay. Yep. Harmony
Babes.
Nice.
So if I did not tell you it's a waste management company, a waste management company where you have the opportunity to recycle, recycle plastic.
Yeah.
If I did not tell you it's a waste management company, you would never have guessed that Harmony Babes is a waste management company.
Nice.
You thought it might be a dating website.
Yes.
Or it might be, So
maybe some people teaching harmony so they can do better karaoke.
Better karaoke. We have youth who started businesses like Visionary Ventures.
Nice.
Which is a film production company that's coming up.
Nice. Beautiful.
So many.
So great.
We have a youth also from UFC who is building an app that plays music through your heart.
Okay.
Right? So whatever your heart is feeling, it it articulates the song that you want.
That's awesome.
Through neuroscience technology, of course.
Awesome.
There's so many stories, man.
Well done. So what, that's great work. And so what are you guys have any challenges right now? Struggle is your success are you guys facing?
The lack of funding, of course, is typical within every not-for-profit.
Yeah.
But we have a better, different approach where we set up the organization as a social enterprise.
Okay.
Where we go to organizations that don't have a sustainable youth program. And we partner with them, and we do shared applications, and we charge them on the cost of the program. So I'm not worried of how this organization will grow. I think the message behind it is too strong.
Yes. Yeah.
It will grow by itself.
Absolutely. No, that's great. Great work. And so what else are you up to besides this? Struggle is your success. You also do a few other things, right?
Yeah. I'm a competitive basketball player, of course.
Nice.
A Boston fan. For those viewers who love basketball, Boston all the way. But I started an AI company, an AI tech company.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence. The company is called QA Enterprises.
QA Enterprises.
Yeah, and it stands, I know for the viewers, are going to be like quality, what is it called? Quality assurance or something like that. No, it's not. The company is called Quality Amalgamation.
Okay.
The reason why amalgamation is because AI is all about amalgamating tools together.
Nice.
So we started the startup. It's been in development for the last 2 years. We're specifying in prompt engineering.
Nice.
And then we're also building an AI app for kids to teach kids artificial intelligence and make artificial intelligence more fun.
Nice.
That's what we did with Struggle is Your Success. Youth entrepreneurship is not a class that you sit in.
Yeah.
It's very innovative. Yeah. It's very storytelling. It's very, interactive. And with the rise of technology today, I think if we could foster innovation and foster design thinking approaches with AI, it's
transformational.
It's transformational.
That's awesome. And so, with all of that, I know when we met over after the men's breakfast, we also spent a little bit of time talking about some of the mental health challenges that men are facing today.
Big time.
Yeah, tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, mental health is a crisis within men. I'm struggling with it on how to become a better man, how to become a better husband, how to become a better leader, how to communicate. Mental health, you're always in your head. You don't have. If I did not have the men's breakfast, where people share the same problems that they're going through, I wouldn't feel where I am today.
Yeah.
And feel a little bit connected. Mental health can get you in a situation where you can experience severe depression, suicidal thoughts. Mainstream media, what's happening in the media today, what's happening in the world today, what's happening with all the wars that are happening, today. It can touch you in so many different ways.
It's crazy what it can do.
There's not much that you can do.
Yeah.
So the best ways to connect with people is to find people who are sharing the similar problems. And I think with you, there's a relatable situation between us. You experience a lot of trauma. I experience a lot of trauma. You understand. So if I open my heart to you, people will understand. And I think what men are missing is they're missing men who've been through similar situations, who understand the pain and the stress of becoming a better man and the guilt. Guilt is
it's huge. Yeah, it's huge.
So for
shame.
guilt, shame. So for the viewers to see who are watching this, don't be in your head. Connect with people like Abe. Connect with people all across the city. Ask for help.
Yeah.
There is help.
There is help. Yeah. It's important.
You gave me a platform.
Right. Well, thank you. You created
you gave me a platform. And if you didn't give me a platform, I wouldn't be connected to leaders like yourself and other leaders, of course.
For sure. Well, you built it yourself, and so if somebody wanted to get involved with you with Struggle is Your Success, what would the best way to do that be?
Yeah, they could go on our website and just the contact information all there.
Yeah.
info@srys.ca.
Yeah.
And then you get a hold of me.
Yeah, so SIYS.ca, and really encourage you friends to do that. I mean, it may not be, you may not have a youth at risk in your immediate family, but I can promise you that your next door neighbors do, right? And so anything we can do to support this kind of work, or maybe you can even open a door where they can partner with a corporation or another nonprofit to actually get this going.
Yeah, and it's not. Struggle is Your Success is for at-risk youth, but we also serve the ones who are not struggling.
Right.
The ones who are just, they have an idea, but there's misguided.
They need a next step.
A next step.
Yeah. And then with your AI company, how could somebody get a hold of you there?
Yeah, you can get a hold of me through LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
My AI stuff is always on LinkedIn. That's where you find the innovation stuff and articles about AI. Just Moose Abdel, MOOSE, just like that, and then ABDEL.
The Canadian moose.
Just a Canadian moose.
That's awesome.
And let's talk AI, because AI is dangerous.
Yeah, it is. It can be.
It can be dangerous, and if we don't adapt to AI, then
it's not going away.
It's not going away.
So we gotta figure out, what's the best approach going forward.
100%.
Yeah. So Matt, I'm so grateful you took your time to come down here today. We're shooting this. It's Calgary. Is where we are, and it's Stampede Parade Day, which is a hard day to navigate the city because it's like the whole city shuts down for this big parade, and so you made it here.
I made it here. It's all about the impact, right?
That's right.
People are going to enjoy Stampede and enjoy the rodeo and all that kind of stuff, but after that, they want to see what's new.
That's right.
And podcasts like this will get them to the next step. They're like, okay, I wasted a week of my life.
That's right.
Okay, how can I regain that?
Now I'm ready for some purpose again.
Yeah, some purpose. Yeah,
I love it. So what final thoughts would you have for the audience here today?
Yeah, I think 3 things: innovate, design, and execute. I think for the viewers need to understand the importance of innovation. Innovation can solve a lot of your problems. Design is all about mind mapping. Get a board. Write your goals down. And execute. Don't let anyone tell you you can't do it.
I love that.
Something that I truly believe in. I don't believe in a bad idea. If somebody tells me, Moose, this is a bad idea, you're out of my list. You're out of my list.
That's awesome.
But if somebody tells me, like, Abe, was like, you know what, Moose, I think we could change that. You got my ear. So innovate, design, and execute. And struggle is your success.
Right on.
We struggle every single day, but at the end, there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Love it. Love that. Hey, remember, friends, struggle is your success. And thank you so much, Moose, for coming down here today. We're grateful. Check out SIYS.ca. Please also go to Moose Abdel in LinkedIn and connect with him. And let's support people who are making a difference, everybody, because that's what it's all about. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, my friend.
Okay.
All right.
This is good.
And make sure, everyone, you tune in for our next episode. And make sure you share this one. We appreciate your support.